And what we're going to be going over today is online reputation management. We're going to go over our services that we provide for online reputation management. We're going to be going over the line item by line item details on those services. We're also going to be showing you the sales collateral that you can use to help you land online reputation management clients. And we're also going to be showing you our new services menu that we have and going through a PowerPoint presentation on it. So we'll try to stick to right around an hour on this, and then we'll be taking questions afterwards, and maybe throughout we'll see how much the questions come out there. I just want to give really a sound check because not a lot of people are typing in the questions. If people can hear me okay and if you can see my screen okay, I've got an Independence promo up in front of me here. And speaking of Independence, hopefully everyone had a wonderful 4th of July. So just to bring people around, because there's probably some newbies on the line here, we offer SEO services, web design services, pay-per-click marketing, online reputation management, and social media services. And what we have going on during the month of July is what we call our Independence promo. And on our Independence promo, any of the social media services, we're offering a 40% discount on throughout the month of July, which is really huge if you know how big our social media services are, from LinkedIn to Facebook to Google Plus to what we call our Google Social Dominator. And then during the month of July, from Independence Day moving forward until, actually it's only until July 20th, we're also offering 15% off on all of our other services, which will include online reputation management. So for everyone on this webinar, if you are to avail of online reputation management services from us for your clients between today and before July 20th, you'll get 15% off if you mention the Insane Independence promotion. And again, you'll see this promo whenever you first log into your dashboard. So let's get to where you would view the online reputation management services. Once you log into your dashboard, if you click on the services icon, it's going to take you to the services menu. And the services menu is this view is really a bird's eye view on where you see your pricing. This is a demo account, so pricing's not in here, but you'll also see the service description. And what you want to do for what we're going over is click on Online Reputation Management, ORM. So whenever you click on the ORM tab, you're going to see a video tutorial on our ORM services. You're also going to see ORM packages 1 through 5 and the number of keywords that we target for those ORM packages in a reverse SEO fashion. And then also you'll see your pricing. And then if you click on View Package Details, it will take you to our new services menu. And this is a brand new services menu that we have, and we just completed the online reputation management portion of it. So if you click on Online Reputation Management, it will bring you into this interface where you can download your own sales collateral to be able to give to your client. So if you have, get your foot in the door techniques for using online reputation management, you can follow up with people with our sales collateral to let them know what you have to offer. So you can view the sales collateral or you can download it. And the sales collateral is available in Word doc format, but we also have it available if you go to the document library and see the category for sales collateral. We also have it available in PDF format. And the sales collateral for online reputation management really covers everything that's offered from a value sale. But the purpose of the sales collateral is to inform the client of what the service is that you have to offer, why it's important, and to motivate them to have trust in the services in terms of where the service would stand within the future, in terms of what the competition might be doing, and if they were to organize a meeting with you as a consultation session for free, the value behind that consultation session. So the purpose of this sales collateral is for you to be able to brand it. If you wanted to be able to put your logo down in the bottom, you notice we leave a section down at the bottom. We give it in Word format because you might want to reword some of it, but if you wanted to really easily brand it, you can just stick your logo down here in the footer and your contact information, phone number, email address, and you wouldn't even have to modify anything if you didn't want to. And our sales collateral would take you through everything from what it is, why it's important, and give you some industry statistics. For instance, do you Google yourself or your company and you don't like what you see? And we have industry statistics that we pulled out of all of the leading research companies online. This one's from ComScore and also Marketing Sherpa. 44% of online adults have searched for information about someone whose services or advice they seek in a professional capacity, like a doctor or plumber. 50% of all internet users over the age of 18 have left a review online. 78% of internet users conduct product research online. They believe reviews are the most credible form of advertising. 80% of people surveyed had changed a purchase decision due to a bad review they saw online. So whenever you're showing a client what service you offer, you want to give them some strong statistics, just like those, to motivate them to take special interest in the particular service. The second page of the sales collateral goes over reviews, how reviews represent reputation. And this really is just some more industry statistics, again, taken out of some of the top research companies that are out there, just to let people know why reviews establish reputation based on statistics. And just to give you a couple of these, such as 60% of online shoppers provide feedback about a shopping experience, 71% of online shoppers read reviews and make the most widely read consumer-generated content, making it the most widely read consumer-generated content. And whenever you're able to present this kind of material to a client, it not only does it let them know what service you have to offer, but it also lets them know that you really know what you're talking about. You really understand what's going on in the industry, what's going on even nationwide or globally with the statistics that you're able to provide. Clearly, you have your act together as a company if you collect these kind of statistics and pay attention to all these different research groups. Naturally. And the third page of I'm page 3. The third page of the sales collateral talks about what your competitors are doing. Because with online reputation management, of course, you can use monitoring tools to monitor your competition's reputation and their online buzz, what's going on with their social activity. And we give statistics about what people's competition's doing in terms of a general trend towards social media, but specifically online reputation management and review management. And then where are things going in the future? You know, how many people are expected to be leaving more online reviews in the future? How much more commercial are reviews expected to be within the future? And really the whole word of mouth thing that typically is not online, it's usually from person to person. Some statistics to show people that where things are going online and in the future, word of mouth really is going to transcend to online through the social review platforms, because that's really where most of it is right now. And with the statistics that you're able to provide people, it shows them that the growth from 2010 clear to 2014 is increasing, and it's going to continue to increase. So if they're looking to invest in a marketing and a branding strategy such as online reputation management, it really is a healthy means in terms of the stability of this marketing medium in the future, because it's only going to become more relevant and more important, and you'll have statistics to back that. And then if that's not enough, the next page is why to choose you. Why are you better? What makes you different? And this just goes through and lets them know that you have extraordinary staff to take care of your ORM, you know what you're doing, and talking a little bit about what your client would be seeing. And then it goes into the in-depth consultation. Whenever you give someone sales collateral, you want to give them a reason to contact you. You know, whether you printed it out or you emailed it, you want them to have a reason to contact you. Not just, hey, here's my service, you should pay me to do this for you, but you want to give them a reason to contact you. And our idea behind that is to have them get a hold of you for an in-depth consultation. And we go over what that in-depth consultation would be about. And that's really a call to action for them to get a hold of you. And then a summary of what we do. In this webinar, we're going to be going over line item by line item everything that's included in the online reputation management services that we offer. But as you're going to find out, there's a lot that's there. And you don't need to be pulling out a big spreadsheet and going on and on for more than an hour about everything you can do for them for ORM, when really they really need to know the value behind ORM, and for the most part, you want to give them a summary of what you can do for them. So you want to summarize all the line items that we're going to be going over, and we've done that for you in the sales collateral. So this page summarizes what you do so that you don't have to go through extensive explanation on every single line item. For the value sale, you can go through the summary on what we do. And then towards the bottom is what is the next step for your lead or client to take to engage. And clearly they need to contact you so you can schedule your in-depth consultation that you would be able to give to them to review their online reputation management and let them know everything you can do for them to increase the positive outlook on their online presence, as well as to increase their branding presence online, right? So this sales collateral is great. A lot of people don't have sales collateral. A lot of people don't have time to look into sales collateral, and you know, this is really powerful. So we provide this to you as well as sales collateral on all of our other services, but this one is just fresh out the gate. So make sure that you download this and you can brand it to yourselves and use it, and you're more than free to edit it. Again, we have this in ODT, Word, and PDF format. Most people typically prefer Word, but if you want to make it look really nice, whenever you probably would want to convert it to a PDF whenever you would send it to a client, right? So that's the sales collateral. And outside of the sales collateral, there's the services. So I'm going to just recap where I'm at, how we got here. So once you log in, you want to go to services. Click on services. Once you get to services, you go to view package details, and that's from the ORM tab. And from there, you're going to go to the in-depth services menu. And then you want to click on online reputation management, and that's going to take you to here. And this is where you can download or view the sales collateral, right? And if that's not in the format you want it in, because I think that's in PDF, you can go to the document library to find it in a different version. So you go to resources document library and find the ORM sales collateral in Word or ODT format. So once you get into here, if you click on online reputation management, now we're going to get into the in-depth service details. So now we're into the ORM services, and this is where it goes through line item by line item what we have to offer for you in terms of packages 1 through 5. And each line item description is broken up between month 1 services, everything done in the month 1 setup, and then we have month 2 and ongoing monthly. So what's done monthly is then detailed from there on down. Now, every single line item has a comment pop-out box if you scroll over the question mark. But whenever you go to PDF this out, you don't have these comments popping out. So if you want to be able to reference what each line item means after you PDF out these line items, you want to go up here to the item descriptions below, and it says show or hide. And if you click on show, at the very bottom, you're going to see that all of the comments are provided in a glossary format down at the bottom. And that so that when you PDF them out, you will have referenceable glossary to everything. If you don't want that in there when you PDF it out, then just choose to hide it. And now when you scroll down, it will not be there. So this is all there for you. So already what you have, even before we get into you understanding all the packages, you have your sales collateral that you can brand, and you're also, for the clients that you might be pitching that are a bit more technical, you're also able to PDF out all of the line item details with or without all of the explanations on them. So this saves you a tremendous amount of time from having to either format all of your line items yourself in a nice to understand manner, and also saves you from having to create your own sales collateral. So that's actually really valuable for you. The sales collateral took us a lot of time to create, and of course this did as well. So what I'm going to do now is real quick, I'll see if anyone has any questions. So if anyone has any questions so far about anything from how to brand the material or how to get to where I'm at, go ahead and give that a shout out. And while we're waiting on some questions to come through, I'm going to just browse through these line items. So on the online reputation management services, our goal is two things. One, it's to provide a positive reputation for people, clearly. But also, we still gear these towards a reverse SEO aspect. We're still trying to push reverse SEO in terms of if someone has a bad review published online, one of these packages would be used to try to push that further down in the search results. Now, even though there's a reverse SEO component to it, we still need to provide consultation to you on if the reverse SEO aspect should really be pushed by you as a sales piece. Typically, if people have a bad reputation online, I wouldn't recommend pitching them in terms of the reverse SEO on it, but mainly trying to increase, the generalness of their reputation online. But for some situations, we do endorse to go after it from a reverse SEO standpoint in terms of maybe someone had a review published and it was published like a year ago and there hasn't been a lot of comments on it and it's really just one and they need us to push that down. That would be a situation where it would be applicable for reverse SEO versus someone that was on the headline news and they've got about 100 different web pages out there on different sites that are talking about negative comments about them for the same keyword when you type it in, such as company name plus reviews. That is not something you ever would want to engage in for reverse SEO. General ORM, okay, posting good reviews, setting up their blogs, pulling up their social media and increasing the rankings on that and increasing the exposure. All right, that all makes sense. But in terms of reverse SEO on someone that has a widespread negative reputation, you don't want to engage in that in terms of a sales standpoint and letting them know that this is one of the goals that you're going to try to accomplish. Does that make sense to everyone? Is everyone following here? Okay, great. So I'm going to browse through these line items and we're going to jump into the PowerPoint. So in terms of month one services, we have a primary web reputation analysis that involves collecting information on the popularity and current standing and online reputation of the website. So we go out and particularly on the reverse SEO aspect, look at the negative reviews that are ranking for a particular keyword typed in. And then we do our ORM keyword research, which is really kind of part of the same research. And then we do our blog setup. So we set up blogs and we interlink them in short. And then we write content. Again, this is during the month one setup. We write content for press releases as well as articles and blogs as part of the content that we're going to use as our arsenal to post to keep their positive reputation up. And then review publication. If reviews can be provided to us, great. If we need to write reviews, we can do that. Social media profile creation and optimization. We use social media as well to increase people's reputations online, and we set up their Facebook during month one, and we get everything set up for the Facebook optimization so that we can do the fan page updates and join Facebook groups and discussions and the friend acquisition. Then we have the Twitter set up as well because we also use Twitter to help improve their reputation. And then we have our analytics and reporting and our monthly work reports as well on the setup. And again, give and take, some things can be changed with this. For instance, some people have asked us that instead of using Facebook, they wanted us to use Google+, and you create a package for that. We can do that. And then month two and ongoing monthly. Well, we continue to track the progress of what we've done in terms of the particular sites that we're targeting to increase their rankings on. And then we also keep track of the backlinks to those sites, and we're also continue to publish additional content for publishing, whether it's on the social media or on the blogs that we're setting up. And then on the reviews, we continue to publish those on a monthly basis, and we continue with the social media optimization through Facebook as well as Twitter, and also the off-page SEO link building. So we do a lot of link building as well, particularly if we're being aggressive with a reverse SEO campaign, and if we're trying to push blogs up and things of that nature. So we are using articles and press releases and social bookmarking and forums to produce backlinks to help rank those particular blogs that we would have established to push higher up. And then, of course, we have our work report. So that's the quick overview on it, and the PDF that I'm going to get into is going to be a more expanded presentation of our online reputation management services. And let's see here. I got a couple questions coming in. Alec. Okay. Uh, okay. Well, thanks, Ross. All right, I'll continue on with the PowerPoint here. So on the online reputation, let's see here. View slideshow from current slide. Okay. So on the ORM sales, I mean, in short, like we say with about everything, you know, assuming that your goal is to sell online reputation management, and I know a lot of people use the ORM pitch to get their foot in the door to further sell people on SEO and other services. But assuming that you are approaching a client and your goal is to close them on an online reputation management campaign, typically you got two types of people. You've got usually the technical sales pitch or the value sales pitch. And again, there's, you know, a blend of the two as well. But if you're going to be talking to someone about, for instance, a value sales pitch, they're going to be someone who's non-technical, someone who really doesn't understand what needs to be done to improve their reputation online and what needs to be published and what strategies are out there. They're not out there reading the latest news and posts on blogs about ORM and keeping up to date on things. They really need to be talked. These are clients or leads that need to be talked about, the value behind it, why it's important, and pretty much everything that the sales collateral goes over. The sales collateral is the value sales pitch because it summarizes all the line item details. So what are the needs that a value sales pitch will address? Well, in short, what it takes to repair or restore a reputation or improve a reputation, how it will help in gathering them more customers, and how this will translate into increase in sales and revenue, and in the end produce a higher profit margin and ROI for them. And value sales pitch tools, what we give to you is what I already went over, which was the sales collateral. I know, and I think, Ross, you offer other ORM tools that are out there, but what we give is the sales collateral to you, and that's for you to be able to sit down in front of them, because the sales collateral goes over the value sales pitch. Literally, it's all written down for you. It tells them all the statistics that they need to know about, why it's important, how it's going to make them more money, and where the future is going with the ORM industry. So those are the tools that we give to you, and we already went over that. So I'll kind of skip over some of these slides that are already in here. And again, this is just going over again what was in the sales collateral, which I hope everyone on the line uses. And then the technical sales pitch, right? So the value sales pitch is pretty straightforward. You're telling them the value of the service. You're summarizing the line items. You're not getting into a lot of in-depth detail about what is done. You're focusing on why it is important and how it benefits you. That's the value sales pitch. Why it's important, how it benefits you, which includes how this will end up making you more money. The technical sales pitch is about what you're doing. So can anyone repeat that for me in the questions box? What's the difference between the value and the technical? Again, the value is why it's important, how it benefits them, which includes how it makes them more money. The technical sales pitch is about what is being done. Notice I didn't mention in the value sales pitch that the presentation is about what you're doing, because that's not what the pitch should be towards. Now, the technical sales pitch typically is going to be geared more towards people that are either extremely interested in understanding what it is that you're doing, or it's someone that you're having a lot of problems gaining their trust in. So always sharing some more technical knowledge about what it is that you'll be doing helps you to establish more trust. Or it could be a lead or a client that is technical. Maybe they've done their own ORM in the past. Maybe they follow some ORM blogs or forums. Maybe they've actually paid for ORM in the past and it didn't work out for them, or they got burned. These are the type of people where you would want to make sure that you come to the table with your game face on and prepared for a technical presentation based on what it is that you would be doing, and you should be familiar with some of the industry trends. Now, again, it's not 100% necessary, and most clients would not be a technical sales pitch, but in the event that you are faced with a technical sales pitch and they are demanding for you to explain things literally line by line on what it is that you would be doing for them, you should be prepared to do that. And that's what this presentation is going to allow you to be able to do. So what are the needs that the technical sales pitch will address? The methodologies and techniques, pretty much what it is that you're going to be doing, and the reporting behind that. ORM service package details. So now we're going to get into the month one, and before we get into that, the recommended minimum duration. For online reputation management, I mean, it's difficult to establish a minimum recommended duration, but your client's always going to be asking this because although, the outlook should be that, if based on an ROI perspective, and if the branding is important enough, and ORM and holding a positive reputation is something that they value, they should probably engage in that for a lifetime. But clients don't like to be told that it's a service that they need to run for a lifetime. They like to hear at least like a minimum duration that they should run it to be able to see the satisfactory results, however it is that that is defined, which is typically a significant improvement in their online reputation. So we recommend putting that figure down at 9 months. A lot of people hold people in 1-year contracts for ORM. Some people hold them in 6-month contracts, and some people just sell it month to month. Of course, from us to you, it's a month-to-month service, but we recommend the duration to run for 9 months. Number of keywords. So in terms of the number of keywords, since whenever we do ORM, we do try to do things from a reverse SEO fashion. And just so I could get maybe a check, if people can just type into the questions box, how many of you are familiar with reverse SEO, the terminologies? Okay, looks like most of you are. So on reverse SEO, again, it just means that if someone has if you typed in, for instance, company name plus reviews, and they had a bad review ranking at position 4, but it's particularly for that keyword, their company name plus the word reviews. What we would do is try to push that number 4 ranking negative review down off the first page, which is why we call it reverse SEO. We're trying to push a web page down, and typical SEO is trying to rank web pages higher. So it doesn't always mean that we're going to have a particular target that we're going to go about with it, but it does mean that we will gear things in a reverse SEO fashion. At the same time, you can look at it as this. We do want to try to dominate the first page of the search results for particular keywords, whether it's reverse SEO or not. So, for example, for company name plus reviews, we would still want to dominate the first page, even if there's not a negative review on the first page. We still want to dominate the first page with all of their own real estate, whether it's their company blogs or their company social media. So even if we're not engaging in reverse SEO, that style and that is geared towards particular keywords that we would try to make sure that we have the complete coverage on the first page. So this is why we have a number of keywords on different packages, because it's more difficult to make sure that you're covering the first page of the search results for a bunch of different keywords. That's why the lowest package we target 1 keyword, and the second package is 2 keywords and 3 keywords. So for instance, keyword 1 might be their company name plus reviews. Keyword 2 might be just their company name. Keyword 3 might be their president's name, and so on and so forth. Month one services research and analysis. Again, particularly if it's geared towards the reverse SEO, we want to look into how difficult their reviews would be to get rid of online and push down. If they're really recent, if they're really fresh, then we need to look into that. If there's a lot of them, then that could be an issue depending on what sites they're on. Is it Ripoff Report or is it, the New York Times? It's going to make a big difference. So on the primary web reputation analysis, the initial analysis for ORM involves collecting information on the popularity, current standing, and online reputation management. Online reputation of the website. Data will be gathered at this stage will be our benchmark for the reputation management campaign. And what we do is we can run a ranking report and establish what negative sites are out there for those particular keywords. Although we do ask you for that information on the intake form whenever you're submitting for a proposal request. And in the ORM keyword research, again, pretty much what I just went over, we were able to run a ranking analysis and pull back, for instance, for the word company name reviews. We can pull back all the web page rankings that come out from that, but what we typically do is literally do it by hand and go through and look for the negative reviews and document them. And then the blog setup and what we call the link wheel setup, which is really just linking the blogs. This is done during month one. And, although we have our standard setup on blogs and the social media, oftentimes the ORM campaigns are highly customized, which is the reason why people submit proposal requests, because let's take this for example. Let's say that someone has a bunch of negative reviews on, well, let's say someone has one negative review on page one for the keyword, their company name plus the word reviews, and let's say that they already have a wiki page ranking on page one that they have, and let's say they already have 3 social media accounts ranking on page one, and maybe they have 3 more blogs of their own ranking on page one. So it doesn't make sense for us to go and set up a bunch of other stuff from scratch when they already have a bunch of their own real estate ranking on page one that if they'd give us access to, we could utilize it. Which is the reason why oftentimes ORM needs to be customized to the particular client. So just keep that in mind. We do customize the ORM packages per each client if necessary. So as I go through this, just keep that in your head, because there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to be thinking about, and you're going to be saying, well, for this situation or that situation, probably would want to do it differently, and we can do that. So buy the standard package anyhow. The blog setup and link wheel setup. What we're going to do is we're going to go and set up X amount of blogs depending on the package size, and we're going to make sure to brand that with their company information and configure them. And those are the ones that we're going to be populating with articles, and we're going to be interlinking those articles to the other blogs as well as to their core website and maybe some of the other online real estate that we'd be setting up. It simply depends. So that will be one of the content platforms that we would be populating, and then we would, of course, the goal is to get those to rank as high as we can for the particular keywords that we're trying to cover to make sure that we protect their online reputation. And the link wheel setup is really how we're interlinking the different blogs. But it's not just the blogs, honestly. We're also going to be looking into if the client has different websites. Because again, sometimes and actually oftentimes, we need to create custom ORM campaigns for specific clients. So if the client has several different websites that we could utilize on the same subject matter to get ranking, and several blogs, and maybe they have a wiki, then we would be structuring how we're going to be interlinking those so that we can have link power from one to the other to help them all rank higher and establish them in a higher relation to that particular brand. So during that setup, we would be reporting on it as well, and some of this we would need to be communicating with you on, particularly if, for instance, this client had a couple of sites and we were going to have to manipulate how one site links to another. Of course, we're going to have to consult with you on that and get permission. In terms of content generation on month one, we would, of course, do press release writing. Press release writing is pretty much a staple and a standard in terms of online reputation management. Press releases rank really well. But also we can take those press releases and we can post them in the blogs first and foremost. And with those blogs as well, we can even have authorship on them. So yes, the press releases would be written, of course, in a light to give credibility to the company that we're going to be talking about, and we would be inserting the types of keywords that we're trying to either do reverse SEO on or that we're focusing on for the general increase of positive reputation. Primarily keywords such as company name plus reviews. Content generation, article writing. The article writing really typically this is more in a blog article format, and it's going to depend on the different situation, the type of writing that we're going to do. Of course, the type of the context of our writing that we would be doing if we were doing ORM for instance, a nightclub versus the type of content writing that we would be doing for a golf course would be completely different. So keep that in mind. And these are not the typical articles that you think of. These are well-written articles for online reputation management purposes, and they're written with the intent of having tangible quality content that's credible to the client that we can post at will. So if we need to be putting it on this blog or on that social media profile or splitting it apart, it's just content that we need. Blog article writing and keyword optimization, depending on the blog, because the articles are more universal, whether they go into blogs or whether they go into the social media or other places that we might be posting them, because we never know. Maybe it's a forum and we're trying to make more posts on the forum. But in terms of just writing specifically for one of the blogs, typically it's going to have a particular type of a concept of that blog. Whenever we set up different blogs for online reputation management, we typically gear each blog with a purpose. They're usually not just identical in terms of just, hey, whatever industry reviews. So for the blog article writing, typically they're going to be similar in nature, and these would be put solely on the blogs that we would be setting up for the client. Again, if the client has pre-existing blogs that are already ranking, then we would be using those. On review building, if we need to write reviews, we can do that. And again, let our consultants, let your sales consultant know if you're wanting us to do review writing. We write great reviews. A lot of people don't want us to be writing reviews, and therefore it's highly encouraged to have your clients provide us the reviews, and we will post those reviews. There are sometimes clients have issues gathering reviews, but really they should be able to go out there and gather their own positive reviews from clients. I mean, if they're not able to gather positive reviews for themselves, then they really have a big problem. Now, on review publication, there's a lot of different places that we can publish the reviews in. Right now, between Google Plus, that we don't have any problems publishing reviews in, or Yelp or City Search, Bing, even Yahoo, we're able to publish reviews in all of those. Our list is always being modified. Every single review site's always cracking down and always trying to make it more difficult to publish reviews so that companies like us can't go in and publish reviews for other people. So if we are not able to publish reviews on one of the top sites, we simply will pick up another site. So profile creation and optimization. Facebook, we utilize Facebook a lot. One, Facebook profiles rank very fast, as do Google Plus profiles, but Facebook seems to be a bit more popular. So we do the Facebook setup, and we do the Facebook profile creation and optimization, and we also do the Facebook page creation and optimization. We're also doing the Facebook business page creation and optimization, which does take verification. And we're doing the Facebook URL customization, which is really just a little thing. It's just putting their company name in there. And then Facebook optimization in terms of posting on their profile. It helps it to rank, to stay active, to keep people engaged from their audience if we're able to post on their profile and keep it up to date. You know, we're sometimes we post reviews even on Facebook profiles. If the client's ever able to give out video reviews, that's really great. On some campaigns in the past, we've done things like taken a testimonial or a review and put it in a nice image format and designed it up and then used that as social media posts, and those go over really well. Everyone that comes to someone's Facebook page prefers to look at images or videos. They'll scroll through the content, but not as much. And then we'll do the Facebook fan page updates. We'll make sure that we keep that up to date because that's just engaging the audience. And then we'll also be joining Facebook groups to stir up the community. Because if you're going to try to get more friends and do legitimate friend requests, I mean, the pool that you want to get those from typically is going to be from groups. So you would go into a group, you join a discussion, you comment on some things, and then whenever you're commenting on something and someone responded to it, then you give them a friend request, and now you have a friend from the same conversation in a group that's similar to your industry, and it just makes sense. So that's how we expand their online social presence. And again, engaging in Facebook discussions, which is through the groups. And through that, like I just covered, we do the Facebook friend acquisition. So we're building friends at the same time. Twitter setup. Twitter's popular, and Twitter ranks well. Twitter's just content driven, and it's good for reputation management. So we would set up their Twitter for them, do their profile creation and optimization, and then we would tweet. We can get, through tweeting, of course, one of the goals is follower acquisition. So yeah, we want to tweet to get the brand up and the profile up, but we also want to gain more followers. And we're able to do that by doing follower requests. Month 1 services, miscellaneous service items. Yeah, dedicated IB services are really important whenever you're posting reviews and going into people's social media profiles from halfway across the world. Dedicated IP services are important. So just to give people a sense of security, really this isn't something you would so much mention to your client, but something that you need to hear from us. We do use dedicated IP services whenever we're doing our posting and accessing the social media accounts. And then of course we have our reporting on what we're doing as well. We provide you with work reports. So we have the monthly reporting and auditing. Now, in terms of skipping forward here to the work reports, work reports are pretty simple. Everything that we said that we're going to do is going to be shown to you through the work report. And after you receive the work report, you'll have full proof of work done for the client. Now, month 2 and ongoing monthly services do start with off-page research. Keep in mind, one of the reasons why you're going to see some things on month 2 and ongoing monthly services that remind you of SEO services is because we're trying to push up a lot of the sites that we put in place. So, for instance, if we set up several blogs, if we set up a wiki, if we're working with another site that the client owns, or we set up a mini site, or even some of the social media sites, we'll build links to those because we want to push them up in the search engine rankings, right? What good is all the work that you're doing in terms of publishing content if none of it's visible on the first 2 pages of the search engines, or the first one for particular keywords? Is it worth your time? No, I mean, most traffic doesn't go beyond the second page of the search engines. And what's the other method to getting content to increase in the rankings? And that's to build backlinks to it. So backlink building to make sure that the content's published has maximum exposure is important. So as part of our off-page ongoing monthly, we do off-page research. We're looking at the indexing pages in Google and Bing on their blogs as well as on the website to make sure that things are indexing properly. And then we're also looking at the site authority. So it's just a ranking factor, right? So for the particular web pages or blogs or sites that we'll be utilizing, we're going to be auditing the site authority as documented by SEO Moz on a monthly basis to see improvements on. And then we're also going to be monitoring the backlink count referring domains. We want to look at this because this is one of the big ranking factors behind it, particularly on the blogs that we're going to be working with. And currently we use Majestic SEO for this, as well as Cognitive SEO. And competitors backlink analysis. We do take a look at this, and we use Cognitive SEO for this, and we track the competitors backlinks, although not as important as tracking the links to the client's direct real estate. It is important. Integrative link placement research. Whenever we go to build additional links, one of the things that we do is we do research on different blogs we can get links from and different forums, and the integrative link placement research is the type of research that we do to set up our link building on what we would consider our more competitive link building. And again, those include but are not limited to, in terms of the research, we're researching for niche keyword related blogs or forums. We can get backlinks from anything having to do with recent posts, nothing dating back older than 6 months, non-adult related sites, not wanting to get backlinks from their competition, right, and not wanting any spammy sites. So typical high quality backlink opportunity research we do engage in. Competitive link finder is another way that we're able to look for backlink opportunities as well, and we use a different software for this. Month 2, an ongoing monthly services on the content generation. We continue to write press releases, and of course we keyword optimize those. We continue to write the articles for universal posting purposes, and we continue to write specifically the blog articles for the blogs that we have set up. And then we also get into the review building. And again, preferably we're given reviews to publish, or we can write them, and then we can publish those to the top sites that we're having the highest success with in terms of publishing reviews. Social media boosting, we will continue with our Facebook and Twitter optimization. And on our off-page SEO link building, of course, we're going to publish those press releases, and we'll be pulling the backlinks from the press releases back to the site as well as some of the blogs to help them to rank higher. And then on the unique article submissions, we will be able to either post these to some of the sites that we've created, or we can also spend them to and submit them to article submission sites for some lower quality links if we're looking for a higher quantity of links. So keep in mind, in this day and age with SEO, you need really higher quality links going to one particular web page. But in terms of reverse SEO, oftentimes you're trying to get 10 web pages to rank higher, and lower quality backlinks do not hurt at all when you're trying to spread them thin between 10 web pages. So sometimes the best use of the articles is still to spin them and put them out there on article submission sites. Social bookmarking we still use for backlink building, and as well as Web 2.0 profile submissions and forum profile submissions as well. And competitive link building re-indexing, which is pretty much pinging the links. We're able to just build like a really quick mini link and ping the search engines to crawl that page to make sure that the links that we have built will stay indexed. And then we're also able to do RSS feeds out to take some of the content that we have created and do auto feeds out to additional sites to create more links, because again, although some of this is some lower quality link building, what we're doing is we're trying to spread larger volume link building methods over about 10 pieces of real estate, because we're trying to get at least 10 pieces ranking on the first page to push down that negative ranking. So that's the overall strategy that's behind it, and we'll take questions now. Let me just scroll back one. Whoops. So does anyone have any questions on potentially the strategy that we're using, what some of the advantage to it might be, maybe what some of the questions the client would be having around this? If you have any questions that you want to throw out there, go ahead and put them on the table, and we'll go ahead and get them answered. Of course, a common question people are asking is, will this be recorded? This is being recorded, so you will be able to view the recording after it has been rendered and uploaded. And I see some questions coming through about, Joseph says, I've been seeing old negative reviews still showing up on top of positive ones more recently entered, at least with Google+. Any idea why? Joseph, I'm not sure. Man, I tell you what, with Google anymore, they're really bouncing around a lot. They're making a lot of changes. So, no, I really don't have a strong idea why. They might have considered that negative review to be more credible. I'm not sure. It also depends on who might have posted that negative review. Maybe the user's profile in Google had a stronger authorship rating behind it, and that could have a reason why it might be sticking better and showing up more. I'm really not sure. It could be that Google might have adjusted the ratio and how they show positive reviews to negative reviews. So, I'm really not sure. But I mean, one of the best things to do is if we're able to post more reviews in there, is just to try to dilute it down and try to get it to push down. There's not a lot more that you can do, really. Now, do keep in mind that if you are going to be looking for the sales collateral in another format, you can come in here to Resources and go into the document library. And over on the right-hand side, you'll see a category for sales collateral. And the sales collateral will take you to the page for all of the other sales collateral. And this is where you will see the ORM sales collateral. So this is the other place that you can go, and if I click to view on this, it's going to take you to, even though it says click to view, go ahead and click to view, and this is where you're going to be able to get that sales collateral in the different versions, right? Because whenever I told you to go to the services here, click on Online Reputation Management, go into it, and you can download the sales collateral here. That's in PDF format. If you're wanting it in other formats, go to your Resources, Document Library, Sales Collateral category on the right-hand side, scroll down and find your ORM Sales Collateral, click to view, and it's going to bring you to here. And this is where you can find the .doc format, okay? And it looks like my marketing team's still going to be uploading the ODT and PDF version in this interface as well. So you might want to check back for that if you're looking for ODT. All right, everyone. So hopefully you're able to go out there and, there's a lot of different strategies on how to get ORM clients. A lot of people find it one of the easiest way to get their foot in the door, whether it's for SEO sales or web design sales or anything else, because it's easy to talk to people whenever you find a bad review about them online. And of course, there's a lot of ways, whether you're going to be sending them postcards or emails about their reputation online. But the primary objective of this webinar is to be able to go through the services line item by line item with you so that you understand all of the line items to our ORM services, to try to give you more confidence and to be able to trust yourself in terms of your knowledge on what it is that we're doing, so that whenever you go out there and you have a client that's looking into online reputation management services, that you can pitch him with high confidence and you know what you're talking about, and not get stuck in a corner on not knowing what the details are of what we have to offer. And you'll also know what to pull out of your back pocket and put in front of them, which is going to be the sales collateral that you would have downloaded and branded. So you should have all the tools that you need in your hands to close them down, because one, you need a team on the back end to handle the services for you. So over here we've got a team of over 300 people underneath one roof. We've got a lot of experience in running ORM campaigns. We've got the full services for you. We've got now the education for you. We've got the line item details that you can PDF out on your own with full details at the bottom or not. And we have the sales collateral for you. So now really the only work that's left on your end is just to go out, find clients that are in need of having their reputation improved, and get out there and sell them the ORM services. So if you're ever looking also for education on other webinars, other services that we have, let me show you how to find that. And Trevor, if you don't mind, if you can find that that link that I had to actually, I think I have it right here. Let me give everyone a link to the promo so that you have it, so that if you weren't able to log in yet, this is a link to the promo. Even though it says hi Paul, I'll still give you this link. So Oops, this is a big link. Let me see if I can get that tiny URL link back. There we go. And I'm going to put this in the chat for questions for everyone. It's tinyurl/independence-er-news and promo. And I put the link in the chat for everyone to see so that you can come here. But what's nice about if you wanted to just pop into here, it has all the other sales collateral on quick download links, and it has quick reference to all of our SEO services, local buzz services, social media services, web design services, and PPC education, and also has the promo on it. So I put that link in there, and to show everyone where to go again to reference the let me get in here to the video library. So if you go to Resources Video Library, remember that we do have the webinar archive, and I'll be able to upload this webinar into the webinar archive as well. And so when you get into Resources Video Library, on the right-hand side, you have your Quick Start tutorial series. All right, well, that's got like the first 5 videos you really need to watch before you get started with us. But if you scroll on down to the webinar archive, you'll see all of our latest webinars. So if you don't understand our PPC services or social media or our local buzz or our SEO, really, these are going to be powerful webinar videos for you to be able to come in and see. Of course, we also have our Learning the Services tutorial series as well. These are just the webinars. So if you want to get caught up on the webinars with us, you can do that. And also in the resources in the document library, you'll find our newsletter section. So if you're looking to follow us, you can either go to our website at endlessrise.com, go to our blog and subscribe to our blog, or you can come in here and you can view our latest newsletters by clicking on newsletters, and that'll help you out. So hopefully everyone has a stronger understanding of our online reputation management services, and you're able to get out there and get yourself some ORM clients and get your foot in the door. So hopefully everyone had a wonderful 4th of July, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up.